Welcome to We Talk English. My name is Kashish, and today we are going to talk about how to practice at home. I am going to give you lots of ideas about how to practice speaking English when you are alone at home. Home Alone sounds like a film, right? Are you ready? Let's do it. So, listen. Today we're going to be looking at how to practice speaking English when you are alone at home. It's not so easy for many people, right? Because maybe you don't have any native English speakers in your city, maybe there are no tourists that you can go and harass, maybe there are no groups locally where you can go and chat and speak English. And maybe you're not ready to go on Skype and try to find some random English person to chat with, someone you don't know. I mean, that can be quite hard, especially if you're a little bit shy like me. So, what I want to do today is share with you lots of ideas about how you can practice speaking when you're on your own at home, alone, right? Good. Now, if you do know me, you may be thinking, what's that strange orange block over there? That wasn't there before. True, and it's my meditating mat. Sometimes I sit and meditate, sometimes I don't. I'm just tidying at the moment, so I couldn't find a place to put it. So right now it's over there. Okay. The truth about speaking is that yes, you can watch videos, you can watch films, you can listen to podcasts. All of that is great, but at some point you need to start speaking. You can speak on your own, but also later you'll need to start interacting and practicing speaking with people. But that's not always easy to do. So, right now today, I'm going to focus on some really practical, simple activities you can do when you're on your own at home to start practicing speaking. So, the first technique is called Speak into the Mirror. And this is really useful, but really simple, right? It's easy because you can do this first thing in the morning when you're brushing your teeth. Or, well, you can't speak and brush your teeth, but just before you brush your teeth and in the evening before going to bed when you wash your face. What do you mean you don't wash your face in the evening? Why not? My mother always told me, make sure you wash your face, clean behind your ears, wash your neck, scrub your neck. Yeah, wash your face before you go to bed. It takes all the dust and pollution off your face, apparently. Anyway, that's a great time that you can do it, and this is good because the key to learning and preparing for IELTS is habit, right? And if you can attach your learning to an existing habit, like brushing your teeth or washing your face, then it makes it much easier. Now, I used to do this when I was learning Chinese. In the morning, after brushing my teeth, I would just have a few sentences talking about what I'm going to do today in the future, right? Speaking Chinese, right? So, today I'm going to go to the park. I need to go to the supermarket. I'm going to buy some vegetables. I'm meeting Jack at 6. And I might go to the cinema. All in the future. Brilliant. And then at the end of the day, you can talk about what you did or what you have done, right? Today I went to the park, I played football, I went shopping. In the end, I've done a lot. It has been a good day. Right, past tense, present perfect as well. So, you can see it's actually great to practice different tenses. It's a bit like writing your diary at the end of the day, right? Which is also a great way to practice writing, but this is speaking in front of the mirror. It's nice. It's reflective learning in many ways. Okay, moving on. The next one I call collocation fun, right? Collocations are words that are often used together, right? Like we talk about heavy rain in English. We don't say big rain. Today there's big rain. No, there is heavy rain. So, these are collocations. Collocation fun is where we're going to practice speaking using a very common teaching method, really based on the task-based approach to teaching, and it's based on prepare, practice, present. So we'll be preparing the words, the collocations, practicing sentences, and then presenting a whole talk. Okay, now the reason I suggest doing this in front of the mirror is that actually there are great benefits of talking to a mirror. First of all, mirrors don't answer back like young children or wives. But apart from that, right, when you're speaking in the mirror, you can look at your mouth and you can see the kind of movements that you're making, which is great, right? It's useful for pronunciation. You can also check your body language. You may be surprised to see that you speak like that without ever moving your arms, or that you suddenly realize that you're doing this all the time. That's fine, but being aware of your body language can be quite good. And also you feel like you're talking to someone, right? Many people I know, and this happened to me, right? I practiced for a long time with a book, and when I went to speak to somebody in a foreign language, it was like a shock seeing this face in front of me. Oh my God. But practice with the mirror. You got used to a face in front of you, right? So, it does help. So, let's look then. Prepare, practice, and present. Preparing. What I suggest you do here is you take a topic, right? A recent topic we were studying in the live lessons was science, right? And then get some collocations. You can use your course book if you want. You can get onto the internet. You can go to my channel and watch other content like How to Learn English, My Struggle to Learn English, and others, etc. This one called English Stories. And in here, right, you have got free video lessons. You can go through the free video lessons, and there is a recent one on how to learn English. So, you can just listen, right, download the video. Yeah, we want to download that. And then find in there all the collocations. Look, you've got the notes here, and here you've got collocations, you've got idioms, you've got loads of stuff. And what I would do is I would take maybe 6 or 7 collocations or idioms like exact science. It's not rocket science, to be on the same wavelength. And that's the preparation, right? That's step 1. Step 2 is in front of the mirror. Just make a sentence with it, right? Exact science. Well, parenting, bringing up children, is not an exact science. Cooking is not an exact science. Frying an egg, it's not rocket science. It's actually quite easy, right? And then I'm just practicing sentences here. And then, in the end, after practice, present. I take one of the old Part 2 questions around science, maybe something like, describe an area of science you're interested in, and then start to talk about it for maybe a minute and try, if possible, to use some of these phrases and sentences, right? So, you may say something like this. Describe an area of science you're interested in. Well, okay, I guess an area I'm interested in actually is cooking. And I know it's not an exact science, but I guess it's a branch of science, a branch of food science maybe, right? And I am interested in the science behind cooking. I think it's very interesting. I know with cooking, when you heat things up, they change. And when you mix different things like sugar and vinegar, you get different levels of acidity and chemical reactions happen. So, I think it's really interesting, right? I think chefs and scientists are really on the same wavelength because they're trying to experiment, discover new things, whether it's cooking or new dishes, things like that. I know cooking isn't rocket science, but I am interested in how it works. And so, yes, although it's not a hard science, I think it's an interesting area of science for me. So, you can see what I'm doing really here is not giving a perfect part 2 answer. I'm just trying to activate and practice some of these expressions that I've been learning. And that's it, really. So, that's it. It's great because preparing the collocations, practicing the sentences, and then presenting a talk is a really tried and tested method. Do it in front of the mirror. It's great. You get everything. You get the contact with somebody, but you can see yourself. You can monitor yourself. It's really, really effective. Collocation fun. Great. I want to go and do it. It sounds like so much fun. I'm going to do it again right now. I'll be back in a moment. And next up is practice with short audios. Now, I am a big fan of extensive listening, right? Listening to podcasts and films, that's great. But when it comes to speaking, I think short audios are much better. They are bite-sized chunks. You can practice listening, understanding, but then you can practice repeating, echoing, speaking with it. For example, you can use short audios from TED Talks or even YouTube videos. I like using TED Talks because there are lots of short audios in TED Talks, right? You can just listen for maybe 30 seconds or so, and then you try to echo what they are saying. So listen to the audio, repeat it as closely as possible, and then try to speak along with the speaker. It's a great way to improve your pronunciation and fluency. And when you do this regularly, you'll notice that your speaking becomes much more natural, right? You start to pick up the rhythm and intonation, and that's really important in speaking English fluently. Next, let's talk about role-playing. This is where you create different scenarios and act them out. For example, imagine you're in a restaurant ordering food. You can practice saying things like, "I'd like to order the steak, please," or "Could I get the check, please?" You can also practice role-playing job interviews or even social situations like meeting someone new. Role-playing helps you practice real-life situations and develop your speaking skills in a fun and engaging way. You can do this alone by imagining a conversation and speaking your part. If you want, you can even record yourself and listen to it later to see how you did. Finally, let's talk about storytelling. This is where you make up stories or retell stories you've heard. Storytelling is a fantastic way to practice speaking because it helps you use a wide range of vocabulary and structures. Start by picking a topic or a prompt and then create a story around it. For example, you might choose a prompt like a surprise party and then tell a story about planning a surprise party for a friend. You can also retell stories from books or movies, adding your own twist or detail. Storytelling helps you practice organizing your thoughts and expressing them clearly, which is key for effective communication. So, Those are some ideas for practicing speaking English at home. Remember, consistency is key. The more you practice, the better you'll get. Try to incorporate these activities into your daily routine, and you'll see improvement over time.